If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC24, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC24 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 6% using promo code Inception at checkout. Okay, so we just finished the review for Darwin, rendering him out right now. So today we have 2 different evolutions yet again. Don't worry about the playstyles, guys. That is gonna be adjusted because I think the guy wanted to watch the Netherlands game, or not the guy, my thumbnail guy is from the Netherlands, so he obviously wants to watch that game, so he just kind of like did it really quickly to go hang out with his friends. So yeah, don't look into the playstyles too much. I'll mention in the other videos too. But this evolution is going to be for both the Copa America as well as the European players, excuse me. This one is the defensive one, right? It's a defender, yeah. So Euro defenders and Copa defenders, right? Yeah. So we'll do the Euro defenders first, because obviously there's one card here that people are going to be really interested in. It's going to be Maguire. This card got a Player of the Month card, and honestly, that card was actually quite usable. Do I personally believe that people should always go with absolute full metas in the center back position? 100%. But they have given him very good playstyles, right? Intercept plus being the key one every single time. Yeah, some improvements here and there. Receives a power header, a weak foot improvement, a bruiser plus on the card, anticipate pinged pass, intercept plus as well, right? So a couple of different variables to work with when it comes to this Maguire card, right? So with Maguire in game, he looks like this, right? So a very obvious shadow chemistry style for this card. You want to increase the pace, you want to increase the defense to be as high as possible, while working with fantastic physical capabilities, right? 99 for physical stats is definitely very nice. He still has the high. I wish they would have, maybe changed the work rate to like a medium high to make it a little bit more meta, but it's still pretty decent on the card, right? Playstyles wise, he does still have a regular anticipate, aerial block, jockey, long ball pass, pinged pass. So yeah, a lot of very good improvements on Maguire. They gave him a bunch of defensive playstyles that makes him significantly better in game, which is obviously a really big deal because for usability sakes, you always need the right playstyles to make the right cards very nice to use, right? So he'll be the highest trending card and probably the most obvious choice for a lot of people just because it's Maguire and you want to use a pretty meta version of him, right? That turns into a mostly lengthy, or is a mostly lengthy for the most part, on that shadow chemistry style, right? So very important to mention there. We have a couple of other choices here that people will be interested in depending on, obviously the type of team that they're going to be building, because some of these options are actually quite nice, to be fair, right? So one of the options here is Hernandez. So Hernandez gets some pretty significant improvements. I will say that this card did receive, he did receive a card in the past, and the card wasn't crazy for the time period that you got the card in. You know what I'm saying? Like, even I used him like afterwards, and honestly, like, he needed to be better during that time period. Now, this one has been significantly improved. However, very important to mention that you may not want to keep the shadow on him because he kind of looks like he's clearly formatted for the anchor for you to increase the pace, the defense, and a little bit of the physicality, because it turns him into a controlled lengthy player, which I feel like is going to be more relevant to work with and keeping him on a controlled, right? For the most part. Some cards, they surprise you. Like when I tried out this Azpilicueta card, when he first initially released, right? This card on a shadow chemistry style is not a lengthy, but his pace was actually like pretty nice to work with, right? So could that potentially change with Hernandez? Sure. Do I think it will? Probably not. I still think you're probably going to give him an anchor anyways to increase the pace, defending, and physicality to be as high as possible, for sure. Sorry, I have to do a quick yawn there. But yeah, no, this one will be an interesting one for people because he provides you with the PSG, French, and League One links, right? Playstyles, he also has a bunch of them as well, right? He still has the anticipate, he still has the jockey, they gave him passing ones, right? So all very, very relevant to work with. Todibo, can you get 2 of these? Oh, you can. See, Todibo, is interesting. Well, Manchester United fans might look into this one too, just because he's speculated to go there. But Todibo, good improvements as well. Block plus, Bruiser plus, and the Intercept plus would be a W for this card. He did receive this SBC during that time period, which you needed the upgrades and blah, blah, blah. Like, even if you got the upgrades, I didn't really see him being used in people's teams that much because at the time it wasn't like super crazy. But obviously nowadays, I think most of these cards have a lot of potential to be pretty solid, right? This one you have to give a shadow to. In my opinion, I don't think an anchor is going to really work, especially since he's at an 88 for acceleration. I think you want to increase the pace to be as high as possible. And you guys know me, if 1s and 2s for defense, I'm still going to do it. Could you technically go on the route to giving him an anchor? Yes, but I know for a fact that if you give him an anchor, that you're definitely playing a super defensive formation, which I don't blame people in this game, right? Because you want to concede less counterattacks as much as possible, right? But again, very similar situation. All of the base play styles that you get for the improvements over time, right? Definitely very nice. They gave him a bunch of stuff too. Long ball pass still on the card, right? Anticipate, bunch of different stuff, right? But a little bit on the lower side because your base physical stats is not as high as some of the other options. You do have a better work rate, but I just feel like the way that card is formatted, you would kind of have to, go in that sort of direction, right? Klosterman, I could potentially see being a really good card, to be fair. This one, what is this? Oh, are you serious? Interesting. Look, we're going to talk about that one afterwards. I had a feeling that, I told people to wait for that one. Yeah, but with Klosterman, though, Klosterman gets a card here. From the rare gold into German glory into Euro defenders, you get a pretty beast card on an anchor. From the rare gold, is this extinct? Oh, dude, he went up 5.4k for the guys that do Bundesliga teams. That is insane. That's insane because he's 79 rated. That's how crazy that is. That's actually like really wild. Good play styles as well. Intercept plus, Bruiser plus, Slide Tackle plus. Still has Anticipate. This has some shooting stuff too, Trivella. Well, not shooting because you technically can do passes with the Trivella too, but yeah. No long ball pass on this card though, eh? Yeah, no long ball pass on that card. It's an interesting one. And the last one for defenders, for the new ones that we got, because there's other stuff that we're going to check out afterwards, okay? We have the Sula, something like that. He has like a unique pronunciation to his name, I know that for sure. But this card, this card right here, on a, where's my mouse? There it is. On a shadow chemistry style, gets drastically improved as well. Reactions and composures in a better area. Dribbling stats for agility, balance, and stuff is a little bit on the lower side. Dribbling, so his on the ball movement at this point in the game might not be crazy, but defensive animations could be pretty wild for him because one, he's 6'5", and normally he's a pretty big dude in game, right? Tall and stocky body type. To work with the, I would say, shadow chemistry style, make that intercept plus really work with the 99 interceptions. I think that makes the most sense for sure. Base physical stats on the card also going to be in a pretty good area for how he generally looks, right? So slide tackle, bruiser, intercept, a lot of really good stuff. But a couple of other things to mention, right, is that you can actually give it to other cards depending on the certain play styles that you want, right? So, there's a list like this where, you go to cards like Stiller and stuff, right? So it depends on what you really want, because with a card like Stiller, he obviously has the midfielder one, right? So there's this card right here. You go to the evolutions, you put them into midfielders. That's the stuff that you get for the midfielders, right? But in my opinion, you kind of get one that's like even better now, right? Because this one, having the intercept plus, is a really big difference in that midfield position, right? So now this card in the CDM position with the medium high work rates, he has the intercept plus to work with now. So it's a very big play style, guys. Trust me, I have a clip today literally where Van Dijk did not get the ball because he didn't get because he doesn't have intercept plus, which is insane, but it's just how it works, right? These cards I would obviously avoid. João Mario, I definitely would not avoid. I think this would be a really cool card to be given these things as well. I think a bruiser, intercept, and a passing playstyle for how he could generally perform for people that are doing Liga Portugal teams. You can't really go wrong with that either, in my opinion. Yeah, you may have some other options here that could be decent. No, it's just that's available evolution players. That was pretty much it. Yeah, that was pretty much it for them, right? So remember that you do have a couple more choices to work with if you actually want to look into some different cards. Like I said, with João Mario, like if you look at how the card was initially formatted with the attackers one, or it just depends on what you want to give him. Really, it really just depends on that. Couple variables to consider, right? So look into the different cards depending on the type of team that you're building for sure. But in regards to clear and obvious, yeah, Maguire is going to be the one that trends the most because obviously he has some very, very good stuff. So yeah, that's it for the Euro video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will go ahead and do the Copa one now.